NBC6 News Today at 6:30 starts with breaking news.
Depuis plus patience humaine.
Breaking news out of Haiti overnight. Haiti's Prime Minister Ariel Henry announcing his plans to step down. He will resign as Prime Minister of the Caribbean country as gangs threaten more violence there. We appreciate you spending your time with us here in South Florida. I'm Chris Anderson.
And I'm Constance Jones. This comes after weeks of violence, including several prison breaks, and the attack on the country's main airport there.
And of course, here in South Florida, the local Haitian community and those who have close ties to the Caribbean country desperately speaking out, calling for change there.
Some parameters together so we could establish back normal living, have the markets open, have the clinics open, have the churches open, and my God, have the schools open.
Yeah, just yesterday, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said that the United States is pledging an additional $100 million to deploy a multinational security force to Haiti, bringing the proposed U.S. contributions to the force there to $300 million. Now, earlier on Monday, the president of Guyana and the chairman of a group known as CARICOM confirmed Henry's resignation.
They released a statement saying, in part, I want to thank the Prime Minister Henry for his service to Haiti, his service to the Haitian people, and for her personal commitment for the furtherance of development of Haiti and the advancement of the people of Haiti and access to give him an applause.
All right. Well, Haiti has had a long history of chaos fueled by ongoing gang wars there, which have been spiraling since the 2021 assassination of the country's president.
And since then, gang leaders have grown increasingly violent. But let's take a look at how Haiti got to this point. Let's go back 14 years ago, 2010. That's when that devastating 7.0 magnitude earthquake hit the island, killing hundreds of thousands of people. The major disaster sent Haiti into a humanitarian crisis.
And back in July of 2021, Haitian President Jovenel Moïse was assassinated in his home. Several people were indicted in connection with this murder, including his widow and other top Haitian officials.
Most recently, we've been reporting the gangs that have taken over the island. Thousands of prisoners able to escape from the jails there, about 4,000 or so. That forced the Haitian government to declare a state of emergency and implement curfews in hopes of trying to control the violence.
And just last week, gangs also seized control of Haiti's main international airport, shutting down flights and fueling chaos as the Prime Minister Henry remains out of the country following a trip to Kenya on Thursday. Haiti now extending its nighttime curfew and state of emergency measures. A state of emergency is now extended until next month. And of course, we're going to be following this all very closely as it develops. Check back with us throughout the day as we continue to update you both on air and online.
All right, here in South Florida, we do have a traffic alert in Broward County you need to be aware of.
Yeah, it's going to slow you down this morning. Let's check in with our traffic anchor, Joanna Torres, with what we need to know. Joanna.
Well, right now, this still remains a pretty active scene off of Pines Boulevard heading eastbound on Hiatus Road involving a major pretty bad accident with two cars here that you can see where emergency crews are still on the scene and cars having to go by one lane there because two lanes remain blocked here. So again, this is on Pines Boulevard heading eastbound right at Hiatus Road. So you're going to want to seek an alternate route there as it remains a pretty active scene. And then on my map what still remains pretty bad too right now on I-95 heading northbound just before Sample Road at Copans Road. The express lanes are completely shut down right now due to this major accident that's been going on since earlier this morning about 5:30 a.m. involving two cars as well, causing some heavy delays, heavy traffic already this morning. You're going to want to seek an alternate route as well because traffic is all the way backed up, traffic only going at about 12 miles per hour. We'll continue to monitor the situation and keep you posted on how traffic is looking so far this morning.
All right, Joanna, thanks so much. Live look outside downtown Miami. Mild start to the day as we get ready to begin this Tuesday.
That's right. Let's talk to Adam about the forecast for today and through the week.
It's really nice. High pressure north of us. We get this little subtle east breeze, not too strong, but just strong enough. Rip currents are still running a little high, but it feels so good when you get that nice little breeze working in when temperatures hit 80. That's what we're thinking today. So not too hot. And again, that breeze is going to be really nice. We're feeling it right now. 5, 6, 7, 8 miles per hour. Nothing crazy, but just strong enough that temperatures are buoyed a little bit here. So 68 in Miami, a few degrees above average. And Fort Lauderdale, your temperature gauge a little closer to the water. That east breeze a little bit more noticeable, a little more impactful. You're 70 this morning. And in Key West, doesn't matter what your wind direction is. It's a breeze off the ocean, right? So you're the warmest at 73. So those blue lines, that shows that east breeze, just a couple of clouds here and there. You notice hardly any green. That would be rain. So we're going to be mostly rain free here, less than a 10% chance. Mid 60s, maybe a long sleeve shirt, light jacket. 80 for the afternoon. Super comfortable out there. Much more on your boat and beach forecast and your next 7 days coming up here in about 10 minutes.
Adam, thank you. Well, a family's asking for answers this morning after police say a man killed his wife and their children before turning the gun on himself. Miami-Dade police showed up at the Royalton on the Green apartment complex on Sunday to conduct a welfare check, and that's where police discovered the bodies. That's where the alleged gunman, identified as the father and husband, 60-year-old Victor Ben Alba, was found. The brother of one of the victims tells us that his sister, Yamara Martinez, and her husband had a very rocky relationship.
Women, if you're in a relationship where you think that there's a possibility as of today, if you think that there is a doubt in your mind that your baby daddy or your boyfriend is capable of doing something like that, tell your mother, tell your father.
Well, Miami-Dade police, they are now waiting on the medical examiner's report to find out when the murders actually occurred. If you or someone that you know is now struggling emotionally, having a hard time, or thinking about harming themselves or others, you're encouraged to contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline or text that number you see on your screen. It's easy to remember. It's just 988.
And all of a sudden he tried to grab me like really hard.
Yeah, scary moments for that 13-year-old girl. This morning, police are looking out for more potential victims of the man you saw on your screen after he was arrested for the attempted kidnapping of a teenage girl in Homestead. NBC6 reporter Sochi Hernandez is live for us this morning with more on what police say and how this young girl, 13 years old, as we mentioned, was able to escape and get away from this man.
And Chris, police are calling her a superstar as she was able to get away from 43-year-old Michael Lucrecio, and he is now here at TGK being held without bond. Now, the 13-year-old victim told police she was walking her dog Friday morning when she saw Lucrecio pull into her driveway and check under the hood of his vehicle before suddenly grabbing her. Surveillance shows him open the hood to his Chevy Tahoe before the attack. The attempted abduction happening right in front of her home in the area of Southwest 4th Street and Chrome Avenue. Now, the victim, Candace Ramirez, managed to break free, run inside her home, and call 911. With her mother's permission, we spoke to Ramirez about what happened.
And I pushed him. I screamed at him and pushed him, and then told him, what's your problem? After that happened, I couldn't think of anything. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I wasn't hungry, and I didn't even have motivation to go to school anymore. Me and my mom are trying to find help to, like, you know, to forget about this.
Yes, Candace Ramirez talking about doing all she can to heal from this incident. Now, for now, the 43-year-old suspect is facing several charges, again, being held here at TGK. Those charges include not just kidnapping, but also battery. Reporting live at TGK, I'm Xochitl Hernandez, NBC6 News.
Florida educators and civil rights attorneys who challenged the parental rights in education law are now celebrating this morning after a settlement was reached. Teachers can now discuss sexual orientation and gender identity in the classroom. NBC6's Lena Saltzbank, she joins us now live with more on what this settlement means.
That's right. Well, this family sued the state 2 years ago, saying the law was vague and infringed on their values. And now we're learning a little bit more and getting a little bit more clarity. Now, the original law barred instructions on sexual orientation and gender identity in kindergarten through 3rd grade. And last year, that was expanded to all grades. But after a settlement was reached yesterday, schools across Florida will be given new, clear instructions about what can and cannot be said in the classroom. In those instructions, it will explain that instructional material on sexual orientation and gender identity is not allowed. But what is allowed is discussing outside of instructional material, LGBTQ people and topics, anti-bullying rules, and gay-straight alliance groups. Republican lawmakers have long argued that these topics should be broached by parents, but opponents and the couple who filed the lawsuit say that this law negatively impacted their kids.
Not only did our kids ask us, or my kids specifically because he's older, said, am I allowed to say gay? Am I allowed to have pictures of my moms in school? You know, they did the first week of school. You talk about who's in your family, you draw pictures, you hang up pictures.
Now, Governor Ron DeSantis, who signed this bill, is also calling this a victory. He says that the settlement means that this law will stay intact. For now, reporting live, Lena Salzbank, NBC 6 News.
Well, this morning, organizations from Florida's LGBTQ community now reacting to the news. Equality Florida posted this statement saying in part, quote, that we have reached a historic settlement with the state that puts an end to some of the most dangerous impacts of this law for students, parents, and teachers. Prism FL also releasing a statement on social media saying in part that this settlement is amazing news for LGBTQ plus youth across the state.
The NAACP is calling for black student athletes to boycott Florida public universities and colleges. It was a letter in response to the University of Florida and other state schools that have eliminated the diversity, equity, inclusion programs. Last year, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill prohibiting the use of state or federal funds for any DEI programs on campus. NBC News reached out to the governor for a comment. A spokesperson pointed to a post on X from March from the governor where he said DEI is toxic and has no place in our public universities. The NAACP president and CEO released a statement on social media reading in part, the value black and other college athletes bring to large universities is unmatched. If these institutions are unable to completely invest in those athletes, it's time to take their talents elsewhere. Florida Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz released a statement saying in part, the damage this MAGA intolerance inflicts on our students and state is immeasurable and shameful.
Our time now coming up on 6:41 this morning. This aquarium saga continues. The fight against Miami-Dade County's decision to try and terminate the lease. What a new letter is revealing this morning.